Hi,
You want to go
everyone.
first?
Yeah, Jan, you, you go ahead and go first. So we got Jan and Lindsay here. They are both based in Colorado, and they have started collaborating and doing some exciting stuff together. I'm going to have Jan go first, introducing herself and talking about her program, and then we'll do Lindsay. And so, Jan, go ahead, take it away.
Hi, I am really happy to be here and thankful for the opportunity. My name is Jan Touslee, and I am the founder of the Nappie Project, which was initially the only diaper bank, first and only diaper bank in Northern Colorado. Now we have another couple, which I'm very happy about. So we've been a nonprofit since the end of 2015, and we serve families in Fort Collins, Loveland, and surrounding communities, which is essentially all of Larimer County. Um, we have we're an all volunteer agency, and we operate out of kind of a cobbled patchwork of storage units and a corner of a distribution building and my home. And so far we have been very successful and using our volunteers and distributing through partner agencies throughout the communities. So we have, like all of our other fellow diaper banks, modified our procedures, been flexible, and continue to serve the families in need.
Awesome. Thanks, Jan. And you've got the pin, which is awesome.
I've got the pen. I have. I don't know if we're talking about whether you wear it this way or that way, but the message is the same.
I think both are great.
Yeah.
Lindsay, let's hear a bit from you.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Lindsay. I am the program coordinator for WeeCycle. In 2017, WeeCycle launched an official diaper bank program. In 2017, we distributed, around 30,000 diapers. Fast forward, we're shooting for 1 million diapers this year.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. You hate to find successes in horrible situations, but COVID-19 has been one of them. It's great to say that we can continue to serve and help families. We've definitely had to modify the way that we're serving families like Jan. We've served partner organizations. Right now we have a little over 50 partner organizations. But with the onset of COVID, we just saw these huge needs in the community. And so we actually piloted a mobile baby essentials program, and it has now become a permanent program of ours that we are going to continue. So basically what we do is fill our bus with diapers, wipes, and formula, the basic essentials that families need right now. And then we partner with local food banks and the Denver Mayor's office, and we take our bus out twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week, and basically just unload it straight into the hands of the families that need it the most. So that is partially why our distribution numbers are through the roof. Obviously, it's tricky to have funding catch up with need. We've all experienced that. WeeCycle is an employee-run organization. We now have 5 employees and a really amazing warehouse that even has like a pseudo office space, hence my nice little background, which is really fun. Big things, So yeah, we're just really happy to be here and be able to talk more about the coalition that Jan and I have been working on.
Yeah, awesome. Well, diving right into that, it's so cool that you were both doing it because you have, Jan, you're fully volunteer and running it out of your house, and Lindsay, you've got staff in a warehouse space. I just feel like it's such a good representation of the network, right? And how you two are partnering together, I think is awesome. So how did this get started? Is kind of working together as a coalition, and how's that evolved?
Well, we've been fortunate to kind of learn from and work with WeeCycle even before Lindsay was there, although Lindsay and I knew each other in a different way several years ago. So it's really been fun to get together and work together again. But in conversation, when she and I have been talking, we've learned from each other. We've benefited from experience and lessons learned. And so we just started talking about how important it is to learn from each other, support one another, and work together. And the idea of forming a statewide coalition just sort of evolved from those conversations. And then also really in conversation with you and Susan in trying to get some ideas about how to move forward. So we were each fortunate to get a grant and utilize some of those funds from national, those funds for change, and work toward that. And our idea was to try and support other diaper banks, to increase the representation of diaper banks across the state and to form sort of a mini national diaper bank network within Colorado that would support people. And then Lindsey, WeeCycle participates in a broader group in Colorado that looks at issues for children from 0 to 3.
Mm-hmm.
So we were able to become a part of them and form a basic essentials work group within that larger organization. And Lindsey could probably speak to you more about that.
Awesome.
But that's where we've begun, and we've had our first couple coalition meetings.
Great.
Yeah, I'll take it from here, Jan. Thank you so much for the great intro and the background information. So Raise Colorado is a statewide coalition. Like Jan said, it's geared towards serving infants to 3 years old, and then also pregnant parents. They do a lot of policy work, a lot of advocacy work. And so WeeCycle has been a member, and as Jan and I were having these conversations, it was just kind of like, well, what are we doing, like reinventing the wheel? We should just reach out to Raise and see if we can start a work group, because it falls perfectly in line with their mission, and it already has a huge following, tons of members. And so we proposed the idea, the funders and their board accepted it. And we have now had 2, so what we called it was the Basic Essentials Work Group. So we address both period poverty and diaper need. And within our first 2 meetings, we first built a framework. Mm-hmm. And through that framework, we sent out initial invites to different potential members. And then we had a lot of interest. We were actually thrilled with the amount of interest we had. The first meeting, we had about 15 organizations. And then the second meeting, there were about 12. And of those that couldn't attend, definitely reached out and said, hey, send a follow-up email. We want to know what you're doing. So the initial meeting was just to kind of talk about what we were doing and how Dana did, and we talked about National Diaper Bank Network and the grant funds and like why having a statewide coalition to address these issues is important. And then we started talking about policy agenda, advocacy efforts, and how we could move forward with those. And then additionally talked about how we can unify and create stronger organizations that address these issues, and then also create new organizations that address these issues in areas that don't have efforts. So through that, we're building a zip code map, and just to mainly show legislators where the gaps are, and to help support some of those policy ideas. So concrete events are, we are having a rally unfortunately not at the Capitol, because right now it's getting renovated because of the riots and protests. So we're at a space across the street, which is like still really good picture view of the Capitol, right? So we're just doing a basic rally. Jan made some really cute signs, and then we invited all of the organizations within the Basic Essentials Work Group to attend and just have tabling information. We also put together an email and sent it to all of our legislators, asking them to attend, and if they couldn't attend, to donate diapers. So we created a virtual platform for a diaper drive amongst all of the state senators and state representatives, and then additionally asked them to bring diapers and attend and just hear what we had to say. So it's been a really fast effort, but also a really awesome effort, and we were just really excited to have the opportunity.
And the other thing we did, and just to mention, some of those signs and posters that are going to be at the event use the graphics that were sent out through National in honor of National Diaper Bank Awareness Night, Diaper Need Awareness Week. That really rolls off your tongue. And and also we got a proclamation signed by the governor, and many of the members of the coalition sent in the actual number of diapers that they've distributed so far this year. So we included that number and the names of the diaper banks in that proclamation, and the governor included that as well, which was really neat because that gives individual recognition to those diaper banks. So that I'm hopeful that that will raise people's awareness, because even now what amazes me is that people don't necessarily connect an increase in need for diapers to everything else that's going on
Sure.
during this pandemic. I mean,
Wow.
they can recognize food insecurity, they can
Mhm.
recognize housing insecurity, and they still don't recognize diaper need. And the food banks have been our original partner, and every month we had been distributing over 16,000 diapers a month to the food
Wow.
bank. We've increased our weekly distribution to our
Mhm.
2 food bank locations, just in size 5 and 6 by 700 diapers a week.
Wow.
And we've seen overall an increase in demand for those larger sizes, 5, 6, and pull-ups.
Mm.
Since COVID, it's been a dramatic increase, which we think, we suppose, is connected to an increase in familial stress, which
Mm.
may be causing a regression in kids that were toilet trained,
Wow.
because it's an increase that we haven't seen over time in our 5 years. It hasn't been
Mhm.
like that. I mean, you know, kids grow and things change, but
Sure.
we've really seen a dramatic increase. Also because those are more expensive. So as families get this prolonged financial stress, we think that they're finding it more difficult to be able to purchase those larger sizes. And
Mhm.
then the shortage of sixes. I mean, our Pathway to Provide order didn't include an opportunity to purchase sixes.
Mm.
So it's putting a pinch on families. And I think, I don't know any other way to try to explain that, but we're really seeing a need for those larger sizes. And maybe somebody else, maybe somebody at National has a different play on that, but that's what we're feeling here, is this
Yeah.
dramatic increase across the board, but also for those larger sizes.
Wow, that's really interesting. It's great that you're able to take that information to the representatives and use the platform that you're establishing and like turn that right into education and awareness raising. And I think that's so great that you like you said, didn't reinvent the wheel, you know, leaned into kind of like existing structures and networks of organizations, and then really focused that and brought awareness to the work that you are doing. That's awesome. So what are some things, you know, that you're looking to do? Obviously, you have this awesome event planned coming up. What are some of your goals coming out of that event, and that you're looking to do, you know, individually and as a coalition in the months ahead?
So we have a couple of things. We, in our last Basic Essentials Coalition meeting, we chatted through a couple of different points and had all of the members rate them on a scale from 1 to 5, 1 being least important, 5 being most important to what they want to get out of the group. And so that definitely helped guide us in our future planning. I think one barrier that we're facing is obviously we'd like to put together a bill and find a champion and start that whole process to eliminate sales tax from diapers. But the budget is awful this year. So trying to navigate where to go from here, that's a huge goal, obviously, from the group. Jan, do you want to speak to some of the other
Well,
items?
I think that's really true. I mean, we've you know, ever since it was implemented, that program in California with Medi-Cal, with a stipend to families, has been sort of a shining star out there for us to strive for. And as Lindsey said, with every state facing these huge budget crises, it's a little difficult to try to put forward, but I don't think it means that we can't try.
Yeah.
You know, I think how many times have people presented bills, they maybe don't even make it to the floor, or maybe they make it and don't get a fiscal note, but it still is a way to raise awareness. And so I think probably we'll want to do that. And when we were rating those things, and then we had some discussion, what I thought was interesting is, in talking with the group, kind of areas of focus and places to go. One of the primary places that the members said was, let's look at the schools. Let's look at the
Mm.
schools and try to make sure that we have things in place, support in place, awareness and supplies, both diapers and period products
Mm.
in the schools, and then shelters.
Yeah.
Those were the two, if I'm remembering correctly, Lindsey, those were the two places
Yep.
that really rose to the top in terms of paying attention, getting information, getting supplies, or letting people in those areas know where they can get supplies
Right.
from us and from
Yeah,
diapers.
oh, sorry, Jan, I didn't mean to interrupt. I pulled up so we put together just a follow-up email. And so obviously these things we're working towards systematic change. And then the populations were teen moms, refugees, schools, housing insecure youth, prisons, and then families with multiple children. Those are the areas that the group collectively wants to focus on in guiding that systematic change.
Great.
And I think one of the things that I always like to pull up when I speak to people is that Yale Medical School study
Yeah.
that National has, where even though it's housing insecurity, food insecurity, but diaper need is the most powerful predictor of postpartum stress. And I think that's one of the most powerful messages we can get across to people, because we're looking at an increase in housing insecurity and food insecurity, but those are tied very strongly to diaper need.
Yeah.
And if we want to ensure the safety and health of our families and our parents, we need to make people aware of just how powerful one little tiny diaper is. It's just
Absolutely.
huge.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much for sharing. And I remember when we first had the conversation back before the whole world changed, I was very excited about the work that you all are doing, and you've really just kept it moving forward, even with everything that's going on, and you've leaned into finding ways to adjust and adapt and to really keep the advocacy efforts and education efforts going. So just really thank you both for everything that you've been doing. So impressed with all the work, and thanks for taking some time to share it with us and the members.
Sure. Well, it's nice to have a good partner in Lindsey. It helps to have somebody by your side, you know?
Right back at you.
That's awesome. All right. Thanks so much, everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.